All right, Jeff again here for the last unit. We were on the right side unit. Again, this is as you face into the property from the street, far right side duplex. Once again, going through a 3-inch cast iron roof vent. Should have some water running here in just a sec. Ooh, hello, spider. Man, Mama Spider's been having some fun in here. This is the other two vents were super clear. Clean some cobwebs off of this thing really quick. Hopefully Mama Spider doesn't come out here on my hand here in a moment. Imagine this is probably going to have a very similar configuration. All of them so far, as you face their front doors, we drop into the roof vent on the right side unit, then crosses from right to left and pops out the left side unit, and then off it goes. So out of the gate here, we do go into some standing water. I think we've got a bathtub running on this one too, which is always going to put a pretty high volume down the line and often exaggerate things to some extent. I will tell you though, standing water, as long as I've been doing this, the times it gets the most concerning is when it's in older, rougher pipe materials like cast iron. The coupling effect of standing water that slows movement down and then having those rougher pipe walls that can hang on to stuff is not a combination I love. It does not always result in blocking, but if you take the same exact diameter pipe, cast iron versus ABS, and you put the same belly in it, the cast iron is significantly more likely to end up with a blockage, and mostly due to those rougher pipe walls. Smooth plastic pipe just helps keep movement speed up, or the velocity of the water, and the smoother pipe walls are less prone to debris getting hung up on them as it slows down or stops. So we just transitioned over to ABS pipe there a moment ago. This right here is where the line's going to turn and Y in with the other lines here. I'm going to have a hard time making that bend, but I'm going to go locate just to verify that. Alrighty, so depending on which order you watch the videos in, I talk about a pretty obvious asphalt patch. You can tell I did some saw cutting and patched the asphalt. So where we're sitting at is just into the borders of that, and that's where they ran all these lines out and tied them together. So I wish I could get around this last bend here at 125 feet through a roof vent. That's a miracle if you can get a camera around something like that. So what I'm pleased about though is we made it to the point of just beyond this point is where all the lines join together. So we're probably stopping merely a few feet from where that's at, based on where all the other locates I've got came in. Other thing that's good here is, other than a little bit of grease buildup in the flow line, it's pretty thin skiff of it, zero buildup on the sidewalls and or top of pipe, which is the best indicator as to whether up ahead of you if you've got any kind of flow problem that's led to an issue in the past. And this line would tell us stuff like that too. It's not a line that's been jetted preemptively for the sale of the home. A lot of times I like to get lines like this that have some amount of gunk in them, because it tells you you're getting a natural state look at the sewer line. Or some people are aware of some of the imperfections in their line, and they'll do a preemptive jet, and it just erases all of the evidence from a sewer line. So glad we're seeing that here. This line's got a little bit more downhill run to it, the way the property's laid out. This line's got a steeper angle to it. And we still have some amount of water drain through the line. Again, we've got other units in here I don't have control over. Or not entirely, anyway. I'm going to stop periodically here just so you can see that water still moving. Most of the standing water on this one that I saw is, I believe, underneath the home. Water still trickling through there. It's still moving there. Alright, so here is where looks like our standing water for the most part dissipates off as about 48 feet. And you've got about an inch of water in here. In that particular spot there, you've got about a... So you're right around a 5-foot belly there. Alright, so this belly here is just outside the front of the building. The belly here would appear to basically start about where the front foundation wall is and extends to just shy of the little curb that separates the bark dust area from the parking lot. Getting around 3 feet deep here. So due to the proximity to the building and the pipe material in, combined with the level of standing water you've got here, that's one I would recommend to fix on. Again, coming back in here, I'm not seeing tons of buildup on the sidewalls and top of pipe like it's led to multiple backups over and over again. But with as close in as that one is there, the standing water you've got in the line, those are the more concerning ones that are close in, especially in these older rough pipe materials. Rougher pipe materials, I should say. And I was getting about 2'10" to 3 feet deep there. And yeah, you've got some decently thick buildup in the flow line in here. So at the very least, I think it would be worthwhile to do a thorough hydrojet on all these things. Get them cleared out, get any scale, grease buildup, whatnot out of the lines. It'll be less prone to buildup occurring on top of it, blocking, all that good stuff. And again, it helps bring everything back down to base. That way, you know, if some of these imperfections are not corrected, if you do a rescope in a year to see how things are looking, you know every bit of buildup you're looking at occurred in that span of time and had nothing to do with prior to it. This makes it easier to gauge things like, you know, how frequently you might want to do maintenance cleaning on the line, things of that nature, which are often a good idea on these multi-family dwellings like this. They'll keep buildup down. So, anyway, all the pipe that we just scoped, all of it's intact. All right, my umbrella just blew away here, sorry. Everything there appears to be intact. Nothing appears broken. We do have some standing water in the line there. I would recommend correcting. Much of it beyond that is minor to nothing as it relates to standing water. So